that is literally, oh shit, I nearly fucking poured it all out. Why isn't it working then? What the fuck's going on? There we go. And I've just spilt some of it. Right guys, this time of year is when I usually start cutting a bit. So I'm just going to take you through today a sort of day in the life of what I eat. So the first meal will always be something to do with eggs, whether that's scrambled, an omelette, or poached, something like that. I find it just wakes me up in the morning, because otherwise it would get to like lunchtime and I'll crash, and we don't really want that. So eggs it is. So I know it off by heart now, but always make sure you put butter when doing scrambled eggs. Anyone that uses oil is an absolute psycho. Why isn't it working then? What the fuck's going on? There we go. Yeah, I know, well, this sort of routine off by heart now, but for those of you who want to follow what I do, then I'll put in the description what I do. It's a breakfast, lunch, dinner, then a snack. So I always know what I'm doing if I keep it in that order. The first meal is breakfast, obviously, which will be 4 eggs with 2 slices of toast and just like a drizzle of ketchup on it. So that's exactly what I'm doing now. Easy way to get your protein in. 4 large eggs, off the top of my head now, it's probably 30 grams or just over 30 grams of protein. So already you're getting your protein source in there, which is good. And the 2 slices of toast is there to give you energy throughout the day, especially in the morning when you need it. Because when I find if I'm going to work or something, and if I don't eat before my shift, I literally don't even want to speak to anyone till about lunchtime when I'm getting my lunch, and I rarely survive till then. So yeah, always get a good breakfast in the morning. I know some people don't eat breakfast, but it really is the most important meal of the day, because it sort of sets you up, and you'll find your mood just overall will just change completely, whether that's interacting with people or whatever sort of role you're in, whether you're like office based or on the phone or customer facing. It will just completely change it. Otherwise you find you're just miserable throughout the day, and everyone around you will be miserable because they're just like, what's going on with this person? So yeah, you don't want that. So today, I don't know if I've said already, I'm doing scrambled. It's just easier. But if I have a bit more time, then I will do like a nice omelette or something like that. So I just put it on like a low to medium heat, and then just whisk them all together. I'm sure you know how to make scrambled eggs anyway, so you don't really need to listen to me. Put the bread in just like that. Good thing is, by the time the toast pops, the eggs are usually ready. So it happens like all in one. So the key to scrambled eggs is when it starts sort of sticking to the pan a bit, you bring it off the heat, stir it a bit, and as soon as you feel it sort of settle down, you put it back on. I'm not some kind of chef. I literally just learned everything from Gordon Ramsay off YouTube, to be honest with you. Got to a point where I was just like addicted to watching his recipes. Otherwise I probably wouldn't be able to survive now, you know. But it's a good start. And you sort of learn to experiment, things like that. I'm sure there's a lot more. If you watch his videos, he probably adds a bit more to this, like all the parsley or whatever he adds. But I literally just end it with salt and pepper. I feel like it just does the job, so why change what's not broken, you know? So that's looking decent now. And I've just spilt some of it. Brilliant. That's not good. And again. Yeah, so this literally just takes under 10 minutes really. So all it takes is you to wake up probably half an hour before you usually do when you go to work, which doesn't seem like a lot. I know it's harder to get out of bed than usual, but if you can get this in before you go, and I know some people aren't hungry in the mornings as well. So a good little trick, if you are looking to get a meal in before you go to work, is I find weirdly, I don't know why it's always worked for me, but if you have, say, a coffee, preferably like a black coffee before, I don't know what it is about it, but it sort of gets your appetite quite quickly and you find you're hungry. So if you have that in the mornings and about 5 minutes later you will be hungry. That's a good little trick I've found. And then you can start making your breakfast as you're getting hungry, so it's a good little thing really. But I don't know how I come across that. It was just one of them things, and that you stumble across. Look at that. That's what we're talking about. Even though I bloody spilt half of it on the... So I was right with the timing then, just about. Because it's basically ready, you know. So that theory has been debunked. I'm just chucking all my eggs everywhere. So that's done. Now, literally all I do, just a bit of salt and pepper really, just does the job, doesn't it? Bang. Makes it look a bit nicer as well, even though I don't care about presentation. No presentation today, guys. Ketchup. Some of you probably prefer, what was it, brown sauce or something. But I have ketchup with most things. Obviously not like roast dinners and that, because that's just psycho behaviour, but anything to do with eggs, just drizzle a bit on like that. Sounds a bit of flavour to it, you know. Bang! Right in there. So I won't cut that bloody slice. Shit. Made a bit of a mess, but who cares? I'll clean it up in a bit. If I show you too much, it's just going to all fall off the plate. But that is the first meal. Our second meal of the day is chicken, rice and broccoli, but not in the boring way some people have it, you know. So obviously chicken in the pan, I've cut up a chicken breast because it's the less fattiest part of the chicken for you, so it's good if you want to sort of slim down. Like chicken wings are cheaper, not Chinese chicken thighs, but chicken thighs are cheaper, but they got more fat in them, so chicken breast is the best one. And then having it with broccoli and the sauce, this is what makes it really. So I've allowed myself not too much, but just a little bit of that, which is Nando's Pyrenees mayo, which is the game changer in this meal really. So we're just boiling the rice here. I've cooked enough because the next meal later on is with beef mince, so there's no point cooking rice later on when I can just cook it all in one go, you know. So we're just gonna weigh out our broccoli, which there's not really a limit on veg. You can sort of have as much as you want. It's a good way to sort of fill yourself up. But I usually go for roughly about 75 grams, just because that's always worked for me. So I just stick to that, but it's just a personal preference, really. That is bang on the money as well. So yeah, just chop it up into smaller pieces, just so it sort of cooks through. And then I just chuck that in with the rice about 5 minutes before it's ready. That's that done. Yeah, you can use pasta, but if you're going to the gym or you've got other things to do, rice is the best digesting. Pasta and potatoes, they're more a complex carb, so it takes longer to burn in your body, which is why I just use rice, because it's just easy to digest. Put the chicken in there. This meal's fairly straightforward, guys, as well. It only takes about, well, the longest is the rice, which takes like 12 to 15 minutes. So it's another quick meal that's sort of no nonsense. I mean, if you cook the rice in batches, then you can literally just microwave the rice and only cook the chicken, which takes like 10 minutes in the pan. So if you've got a rice cooker, even better. Rice lasts 3-4 days anyway, so any longer than that, I wouldn't risk it. But yeah, it's a pretty straightforward meal. Easy to prep and take to work with you as well, which is good. Got to watch it not to burn me, because sometimes it spits back at me. So as soon as I see the chicken's 3/4 of the way done through, I just chuck the broccoli in with the rice. Then by the time the chicken's done, everything's done, so it's just easy to plate up. So there's 3 seasonings I like to use. We've got the chicken seasoning, classic barbecue, and the peri peri seasoning. Don't know which to go for today. I'm going to go for the classic barbecue today. Yeah, chuck a bit of this on. That's beautiful. Yeah, you want to season it as much as you can, because you know the generic chicken and rice plain. I like to make my meals with a bit of flavour, you know, and mix it up each time so it doesn't taste the same. So that's why I put salt, pepper, and a bit of barbecue on it. That with the Pyrenees, I've made it so I can have sauces with my meals to make them nicer, and it's still within the calories. But yeah, guys, if you've got any questions about anything food related, just put it down in the comments. Be happy to answer you. I've been doing this for, how long have I been doing this now? Nearly 10 years. Wow, that's a lot. So yeah, I got a bit of knowledge, just a little bit, of what works for me. Obviously, it was all been like trial and error. You got to find out what works for you just by experimenting. Food you like, food you don't like, because I understand everyone's different. Some people don't like seafood, this and that. I like everything, so it's easy for me. Always willing to try new things. Maybe you're the same, maybe you're not. But there's always a way around it. So I don't like it when people make excuses, because if you wanted to, you're always going to find a way. Whether you do that together with your partner or with your friends or something else. I find if you've got someone else, you're doing things, say you're going to the gym, or you're keeping on top of each other to eat healthy outside the gym, which is like 70% of it, then you're always going to improve together. And a team of people is always going to outdo the lone wolf, you know. So if you can support each other, then I would 100% do that. If not, find a circle of friends that have got the same goal, because they say you are the sum of who you hang around with. So I think it's you are the sum of the 5 people you hang around with. So if you hang around with losers, you're going to be the 6th, aren't you? Look at that. Beautiful. Wait for that to cook through now. So this is the point when it's sort of like that, and it's sort of cooked 3/4. I then add the broccoli in. with the rice. So I have 2 bowls just for the rice for the next meal, so it's just easier, just cook the mince. So the broccoli I just have with this meal, so I just scoop that out. Because with the next meal I sort of mix it up, so I just have peppers with that one. So otherwise I just get bored of the broccoli. And I don't really want to get bored of food, so I always try and keep the sort of the same fundamentals, like the same foundation, but just sort of mix and match with the veggies and the fruits. But we get onto that later. So I just split this out evenly. And it works out about 1.5 scoops each. I always put a bit of salt on my rice and broccoli, just to sort of give it a bit of flavour. Then that goes on there like that. That's lovely. This is what it's about. Bit of this, beautiful. Just enough to like cover the top. And then it should turn out, ooh, nearly dropped it, like that. So that's the second meal. So our third meal, guys, will be 200 grams of mince. We cooked the rice earlier, so that's all ready, so that just needs heating up. So the ones I get is the 5% one, which I just got from my local co-op. So if I got any fattier than that, like a 15-20%, then it's just not going to help in trying to lean out. So I always go for the 5% ones. They might be a bit more expensive, but I got 2 of these, 2 for £8 in co-op, so there's plenty of ways to get it cheaper. And it probably works out better than the 20% ones actually, so it's definitely worth it. Just got to weigh it out now. But yeah, once you've done this a few times, you sort of just memorize it off by heart. So it's literally so easy. It's just like 50 grams of rice, 2 meals, 200 grams of chicken, 200 grams of mince, 4 eggs, 2 slices of bread that you just put into toast. And then the last meal is literally 250 grams of Greek yogurt with raspberries and a drizzle of honey. It's that easy, really. I'm one of those sort of people that can stick to like just those meals. I know some people, they get bored quite easily. So there are other alternatives to it. You just got to obviously work out what's best for you. If you need any more sort of replacements, say if you don't like mince and you need a replacement meal, then just put in the comments and ask, and I'll quite happily answer it. But yeah, it's just trial and error, really. That's what I was like with food. I'm quite lucky in regards to I like basically everything, so I quite happily try anything once, and if I like it, I just stick with it. But for some of you, I know there's allergies and stuff that can make stuff a bit complicated. That is bang on. I am good at this today. I know, yeah, some of you might have allergies or something like that, but there's always ways around it. So these people that come up with excuses are basically just don't want to do the dirty work and can't be asked to sort of research or do the best for them, which I find pretty stupid, really. Good thing about these are these 5% mints. They last about 2.5 meals, which is pretty good. So if you buy 2, that's 4 meals. So if I'm doing a weekly shop, I usually buy 3 of them. That's the week done. Chicken, I buy 3 packets. That's the week done. And then eggs, I just buy 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 28. That's just like basically 2 lots of 12 eggs. So my shop comes to about 30 to 40 pound just for me. Obviously, if you've got a family or something, then it'd be a bit more. But for one person, 30 to 40 pound a week, I think is pretty good for just a food shop. Ooh, that's the sizzling we like to hear. That is spitting everywhere. You just chuck that in. I usually use, or you can buy peppers in a pack of 3. So I just usually use half a pepper. For your half a pepper, obviously if you want to cook for your family, then depending on how many people you have, you just sort of times it by that amount. And say you got 2 kids, sort of just times it by 3. Do not slate my chopping skills. I know there's probably faster ways of doing this, but this is the only way I know. And usually I bloody cut myself. So let's hope we don't today. I'm not about efficiency, I just want to get it done. That is the goal. Alright, chuck that in. Alright. And then because you've already pre-cooked that rice, it's literally like an 8 to 10 minute dish, which is lovely when you just get home from work, you know. So I just pop that in for about 3.5 minutes. Sorted. Well, you can cook it in batches, to be honest with you. But you're probably looking at... Breakfast takes about 10 minutes. You're probably looking at about 40, 50 minutes. Not even that, actually. I'm going to say half an hour of cooking for 3 meals, because the last meal is only a yogurt and berries. So you're probably looking at half an hour to cook everything. I'm sure everyone can fit half an hour out their day to be able to make these meals, you know. So there really isn't an excuse. And even if you have kids and stuff, you can just make the same meal for them. So I'm sure they'll benefit from eating these healthy meals as well. Rather than you cooking for yourself, then cooking for your kids or whatever. So it just takes twice as long, doesn't it? Ah, why the fuck did I do that? Look at that, beautiful. What we love to see. Oh, shall I have something else on it? Got to be barbecue in it. So I just go with the low calorie barbecue sauce. And that just does that nicely. I would show you, but it's hot, so I'm going to risk my life for this. So that is peppers, mince, rice with a bit of barbecue on it. So my fourth and favourite meal, guys, has to be this one, especially in the evening when probably most of you have a sweet tooth. Why aren't my scales working? The old Greek yogurt with raspberries. And I'll tell you what the game changer is the honey. Because it just brings everything together. So I've just got just the normal Greek style, literally like 90p. Snap up 2 or 3 of them. And you got yourself a deal, you know? What did I say earlier? It's 250 on it. So 250 of this. Just lump it in. Raspberries wise, it doesn't matter. Personal preference, I'd just chuck 8 to 10 on. More the better, really, isn't it? And then this is where it comes in. Absolute game changer. And you just want about a tablespoon of that. Not a tablespoon, a bloody teaspoon. Teaspoon of that. Can't get my words out. That's that. Get rid of that for you. And that is literally... Oh shit, I nearly fucking poured it all out. But that... Literally, heaven. You'll thank me later. So that's what I eat in a day, guys. And I'm trying to think calories, about 2,000, 2,200 for me. Does me fine, try it. Trial and error. If you find you're not losing weight, then just bump down the rice, or because you want to keep it high protein, or just literally cut a slice of toast out, that's it. Other than that, it will work. And you'll necessarily not see it on the scales, because I have clients like that. Some weeks they don't see it on the scales, but they go down half an inch or an inch on their waist. So never the scales lie to you sometimes, all right? So never go with what they say.